Good morning, welcome back. This is Daybreak and thanks for staying with us. The hashtag on X is Citizen Daybreak. The SMS code is 22422 at Citizen TV Kenya and at AYUB Abdikadir. So we'll be talking about the US election and the race of a lifetime. We'll be focusing on the 7 key swing states and their impact on the election, the factors that are underpinning the American elections, and how this is shaping up on who will be the next occupant of the White House. Now, to point out this, it's very key that Kamala Harris, if she wins, becomes the first woman and of color to be an American president. Donald Trump wins for the second time, and he becomes the first convicted felon to be an occupant of the White House. So let's begin with the numbers and what informs what in this case. And this is where they are all pointing to, and it's the White House, where the next commander-in-chief of the United States will be an occupant for the next 4 years. And in this election, you have to cross certain magic line, which is the number that you're seeing on your screens at the moment, 270 electoral college votes. So when you secure that, that's the magic number either Kamala Harris and Donald Trump must get. So how does the electoral college system work in the United States? Now, each state is awarded electoral college votes based on its population. For example, in this case, the state of California, where Kamala Harris comes from, has 39 million people, and therefore it has 54 electoral college votes. Vermont has 650,000 people, and therefore has only 3 electoral college votes. In 2020, Donald Trump and Joe Biden spent 3/4 of their campaigns in the 6 swing states at the time. Now, let's talk about the swing states in this year's election in the United States of America, and we'll line them up so that you understand the 7 key swing states that will determine the election. They are Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Wisconsin. Now, they are neither blue, which is a Democrat, or red, Republican. They are called the purple states in the United States. And this, they change over time from one election to the other, informed by shifting demographics and political views in the United States of America. So let's begin in that order, and we begin with Nevada. Now, most of the state is rural here, and because of its small population, Nevada has the smallest number of the electoral college votes in this election, only 6. It's also called the bellwether state, and it has significant impact on this election. That whoever won Nevada in 10 of the last 12 elections in the United States of America went on to win the presidency. Nevada is also America's gambling capital and has one of the highest unemployment rates. So we move on to the next, which is Arizona, and this informs a lot because it's also another key swing state in this election and will have an impact on who becomes the next president of the United States. Now, the Southwest state is also known as the Great Canyon state and has 11 electoral college votes. Historically, it's been a red state. Now, hear this. In the last 70 years, it only voted for Democrats twice. Bill Clinton in 1996 and Joe Biden in 2020. And Biden in 2020 won by only 0.3%, and when he defeated Donald Trump. Another major factor in this state is immigration. Arizona shares a border with California, New Mexico, and Texas, which all share a border with Mexico down the south. In 2021, President Joe Biden gave Vice President Kamala Harris, who is now a candidate for the Democrats, one major overwhelming assignment, and that was to address the border crisis. Another issue in this state of Arizona is abortion. In June 2022, the US Supreme Court overturned the Roe v. Wade, effectively returning abortion policy decisions to the states. 2 years later, in April 2024, the state of Arizona Supreme Court revived the 1864 total abortion ban, and it's therefore a key factor which will inform the outcome of the election in the United States of America. Let's head to Michigan, and it has an interesting stats here, and there are many factors that underpin this. It's an area also known as the Rust Belt, and it stretches from New York to the Midwest. Michigan is also known as a manufacturing state. However, its industries have been on the decline, and this has led to massive job losses because of the layoffs. But here is one interesting fact about Michigan. This state voted red, for the Republicans only twice in the last 32 years, in 1998 for George H. Bush and Donald Trump in 2016. Now, Michigan State has the highest concentration of Arab Americans in the United States of America. And the war in Gaza by Israel is a major factor here for the Arab Americans. So important is this state that Donald Trump held his final campaigns in this state. But I just want to remind you this, that Donald Trump in 2017 signed an executive order banning Muslims from 6 majority Muslim countries from entering the United States of America and effectively shutting the door on refugees and asylum seekers. The American Supreme Court overturned the order in June the same year. And another factor is therefore going to be very critical about Michigan. It has a white working class voters, and the state is home to 2 American automobile giants, the General Motors and Ford. So immigration is going to be a key factor here in Michigan, as well as manufacturing and jobs, which are very critical, especially for the Americans who live in this crucial state. So we head to North Carolina, and we take some bit of break here on the Magic Wall, then engage our panelists. It's located north of the state of Georgia. We'll be coming to Georgia in a moment as well, and has 16 electoral college votes. In the last 50 years, Democrats only won in North Carolina in 1976, Jimmy Carter, and Barack Obama in 2008. Now, the Democrats have an upper hand here, and this is the why. From 2011 to 2021, data shows that newcomers in North Carolina have been from California, New York, and New England states. Now, New England states is made up by Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont, which are all heavily Democrats. And its ethnic makeup is going to be very critical because they are made up by blacks and Latinos, who make up 90% of North Carolina's newcomers, as I have mentioned. Remember Arizona? Immigration is also an issue here because a majority of the population in this state is white. So let's head to the most crucial state of the 7 swing states, and we'll be coming back to the others because I'm heading to Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania has the highest number of the electoral college votes among the 7 swing states in the United States of America. And it's the most important because it's the highest number of the electoral college votes among the 7 states that we are talking about. President Biden won here in 2020. Kamala Harris held her last rally in Philadelphia in this state. And one thing is worth noting, 20% of the population here in the state of Pennsylvania is above the age of 65 years, according to the United States of America Census Bureau. And this number exceeds the national average in the United States, which is 17%. Then now, the next assignment takes us to Georgia, which is also known as the Peach State in the United States of America, and it's on the coast state. It's called the Peach State because of its ethnic makeup and has 16 electoral college votes. Before Biden won here in 2020, Georgia wasn't and didn't used to be a swing state. And for the last 30 years, hear that, this state voted red, meaning for Republicans. The Atlanta metropolitan area has one of the highest number of African Americans in the United States of America. Unlike any other American state, Georgia has its own unique factors that will determine how it will vote, and they voted early in these elections. The state of the economy, immigration, and above all, democracy is very key here. Remember President Donald Trump's call to Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find him some 11,780 votes in 2020, a few days before the insurrection on the US Capitol in Washington? That's how key it is. Then we finish up with Wisconsin, because this is also another important state in the United States of America. So after Georgia, then we go to Wisconsin, and let's call this state, because of its relevance as well as what it bears, given its significance and relevance, yes, the dairy land, because it's home to more than 5,000 dairy farmers in the United States of America. And there are more than 1.2 million cows, according to the state's Department of Agriculture. And it has 10 electoral college votes. Hear this. It's safe to assume that this is a blue state because in the last 32 years, Wisconsin voted for Democrats, except only in 2016 when Donald Trump had won the elections against Hillary Clinton. In Milwaukee, which is in the state, Republicans held their nomination convention where Donald Trump was given the nod. And Kamala Harris held her first rally in Milwaukee in Wisconsin after Joe Biden had dropped out of the race. And that's how it's very key and the relevance this bears. Therefore, let's now link up with Joanna LeBlanc, who joins us from Washington, D.C. in the United States of America. And she is an adjunct professor at Harvard University in the United States of America. And Joanna, good morning from Kenya. I know it's an evening in the United States of America. And given the breakdown of the early voting and the results that are coming in, we know, of course, automatically there are some traditional red and blue states that are not